Hello, and welcome to my Python Programming for Beginners course. In this video, we're going to continue writing Python code by learning what an if statement is. If statements are pretty straightforward to understand. In your program, you may have pieces of code which you only want to run when a certain condition is true, and then run a different set of code when the condition is false. That's what an if statement is for. If statements control the flow of your program based on whether a condition is true or false. Now let's switch over to VS Code where we will be continuing to write our code. So if you're following the last video, you should have your VS Code looking like this. I changed the name of it to better distinguish the folders for the videos therefore. So we'll create a new folder here and name it 02-if statements. And then in here we'll create a new file called ifstatements.py. So as I was saying, if statements allow you to change the flow of your program. So you might have a value, and depending on what that value is, you may want it to do one thing, and if it's a different value, you may want it to do another thing. To show you how if statements work, we'll write a basic program that uses it. So to begin with, just write along with me, and then when we've completed it, I'll explain everything line by line. So we'll start off with the variable called condition, and give it the value of true. We'll then type if condition : enter, print condition is true. Then we'll press enter again here, backspace to bring it in line with the if. Then we'll do elif not condition, print condition is not true. Then we'll do enter, backspace, else, : print condition is neither true or false. Now if we save this, press F5 to run it, click the Python file debug here, it will run in the terminal below, and you'll see condition is true. So let's go over everything that we wrote just then. To begin with, we created a variable which has the value of true. We went over that in the last video, so if that doesn't make sense to you, go back and watch that. So this line here, if condition. So this condition is where Python performs the check to see if this is true or false. So because this variable has the value of a boolean, you can leave it just like this. Another way you could write it is condition equals true. So see here, we have condition equals true, and then this would be condition equals true. Use a single equal sign when you're signing the variable. You're assigning the value to the variable, but then if you use two equal signs, you're doing a comparison between the two. Or in this case, does the variable condition have the same value as the boolean true? So in this case, this would be true, but as we're using a variable which already has a boolean value, we can remove this part and keep it like this. So as we saw, it printed out condition is true. This is because we assigned condition value of true. Now if we change this to false, and let's run it again, condition is not true. So what the Python program did is, with the condition equals false, it came here, is condition true? No. Okay, let's go to the next line, elif not condition. So what not does is it changes the boolean value to the opposite of it. So if condition equaled true, it'll change it to false. Or if condition equaled false, it will change it to true. So in this case, condition equals false, so not false is true, which means this now equals true because not false is true, and that's why condition is not true ran. Now in this if statement example, this else will never run, as booleans only have two values. It's either true, where if condition would run, or false, where if not condition would run. So this line right here will never run. But in other if statement examples, it will run. So something that I will change is making this so it's actually interactive. So what we're going to do is change condition equals true to change condition equals input, enter true or false. So what input is, it's a function which in the terminal when you run it, allows you to enter text into it, and then it'll assign the text you entered as a string to this variable. So if we were to run this, input enter true or false, we see down here now it says enter true or false. So if I were to type true, condition is true. Okay, so this is an interesting interaction because condition has been assigned a value of the string true, but it ran if condition, but even though it's not a boolean. So to show you how this interaction works again, we're going to run it, but this time we're going to type false. It still showed condition is true. This is because when you're trying to do if statements with a string, it's actually checking to see does the string contain a value or not. So if we run this again and just straight away press enter, condition is not true because the string is empty. So to make it actually work with the strings we've got, we'll do if condition equals the string true, elif condition equals the string false. So if we run this again, if we enter the string false, it came up with condition is true. Now if we run it again and we put in the string ABCD, condition is neither true or false. So this is how an else statement works. It first checks to see, okay, does the variable condition contain the value of a string true? No. Let's go to the next one. Else if the value of condition equals the string false? No. Let's go down to here. Else. Else is basically just default. If none of the previous conditions are true, then run whatever is below else. So something that I should explain, we see here if condition equals true, the line below it has been tab indented like this. This is how Python works in understanding that this line here is for this if condition equals true. And as we can see here, this line is in line with this one now, which tells Python, okay, this one is intended, this is for this one is back at this level, so let's jump out of here, and now it's its own thing here. So now that we've made this basic program, let's use this to create another program. So we'll go into the if statements folder, new file, and we'll name it barentry.py. So this is going to be a basic program where we enter the age of a person and we find out whether they are allowed to enter a bar. So we'll have the variable name age equals input, enter your age. Now using if statements, if someone is younger than 18, they are denied entry. If they're 18 or older, then they are allowed entry. So if age, now the syntax for is less than 18 is age less than 18. We'll do that, and then we'll print you are too young to enter, and then we'll do elif. Actually, in this case, because the only other option is age is greater or equal to 18, we can just do else print you are allowed to enter. So if we run this F5, if we enter the age of 10, so we've come across another problem which we had last time. Less than symbol not supported between instances of string and int. So as I said before, this input allows you to enter text into the terminal and then assigns it as a string. And as we're working with the number 18 here, we need to actually convert this into an integer. So it's similar to the way we'd convert another value into a string, but instead of str, we do int, parentheses. Now age is an integer. Now F5 again. Enter the age 10. You are too young to enter. And now if we do F5 and we enter the age 20, you are allowed to enter. So obviously, some countries around the world, you aren't allowed access into a bar if you are 18. So how about we do some other conditions? So let's say country, if I can spell it right, country equals input, enter your country. So to keep this simple, we'll make it so if you enter USA, you have to be 21 or older, otherwise it's just 18 or older. So we'll just do it that way to keep it simple. So let's change this if statement. So if age is less than 18, then we'll do or country equals USA and age is less than 21, you are too young to enter, else you are allowed to enter. So basically the way this works is if you're under the age of 18, no matter what you can't enter, or if your country is USA, you can't enter if your age is below 21. Otherwise, you are allowed to enter. So if we save this and run, enter age, so let's do 20, then country Australia. You are allowed to enter. Now let's run this again, and do age 20, but country USA. You are too young to enter. I hope this video has helped you in learning how if statements work in Python. If you are wanting to learn more about Python, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any new videos that are added to this Python Programming for Beginners course.